for the Susan Taylor Podcast, where we discuss the yoga of mind, medicine, and healing. Author of Feeling Good Matters, Sexual Radiance, and the Vital Energy Program, Dr. Taylor imparts authentic knowledge and practical tools that inspire, educate, and empower us to be a healing force for positive change. So join us and take your life and our planet to the next level.
Hello and welcome to Episode 6, Access the Healing Force with Meditation. In today's episode, we're going to talk about meditation as a practice and how meditation can help you access the healing force. I'll talk about pointers to refine a practice and give you a strategy to get started. And then it'll be ending with a practice, a genuine practice to get you started and to have something to refer back to. I'm really looking forward to speaking on these great topics, so let's get started. According to a great master, Sri Swami Rama, it was stated, meditation is a process of purifying the mind and making it one-pointed, inward and tranquil. Through the meditation method, the mind will help you to fathom the deeper levels of your being and lead you to the highest state of realization. This was taken from one of his books, The Essence of Spiritual Life by Sri Swami Rama. So let's look at meditation as a practice. Meditation certainly is a practice. It's not something that happens right from the beginning unless you're very, very lucky. It's also not mindfulness. It's not relaxation. It's not even listening with a headset to different tones and pitches. For that matter, anything that implies an instant method is not meditation. I remember one of the students speaking in a program that we were doing once saying that they use these brain entrainment programs and it gives the same results as if one were meditating for 20 years. I can assure you that someone who meditates for 20 years and does a really disciplined practice is going to be in a different state of mind than someone who does entrainment for 1 or 2 weeks. It's just there's no correlation between an equivalence that could even happen because you're working with training the mind. It's not just the brain. In fact, by training the mind, you actually will see the results in the brain. It's not the other way around. So just don't believe quick fixes. I always like to bring everyone up to date on that. There's nothing that's quick about anything that's lasting and worth it. We have to work for it, meaning not work as a hard work, but we have to really set our life with that intention in mind. You know, currently, even in our culture, we expect the end result to happen without putting forth the effort. And how many of us have been in that situation? I know for myself, I've wanted things to happen faster than they would. It's just the way things are speeding up and things are at our fingertips. I mean, when we need something, we Google it, right? And we get it quickly. Well, that quickness is great in many respects, but not when it comes to really cultivating the mind field in order to live with the healing force and have a joyful life of freedom and fulfillment. So to learn meditation requires a commitment to learning and also a lifestyle to support the practice. People try to meditate, but their life is chaos. You can't do meditation if your life is chaos. In fact, we need to work with a chaotic lifestyle first, settle that down, and then bring that lifestyle into the meditation practice itself. And you've heard me say that before. Because you know what? There's really rules of the road when we're talking about meditation. First, we have to be vigilant when it comes to practice. It's not just practicing, oh, I just meditated today and then skip a day or 2 days, or, oh, I was sitting under a rock and I was meditating. When we really have a practice, we're vigilant. We have the same time. We have a specific space where we meditate and we really train in a systematic way. So we need to choose a clean and well-ventilated space free from through traffic. You can't be meditating in the middle of a living room with traffic coming by or the phone ringing or have the phone down by your side waiting for the phone call to come in because we experience FOMO. Remember that in one of the blogs, fear of missing out. Don't expect immediate results. Ask yourself, how long did it take you to learn how to read or play an instrument? And if you really think about it, you had to practice. Well, that's what meditation is. And it's practice for training our mind to focus so that we can go beyond the mind itself and enter that space between thoughts. And that's the space where joyful living resides. So, the other rule of the road that we have is don't let progress get sidetracked with imagining spiritual happenings. So many times people say, "Oh, I saw the lights and all different colors, and then I heard things." And I remember once going to the master and saying, "Gee, what am I not doing? All these things happen, and I'm not having any of these experiences." And of course I was ignored. But later on realizing that those are the things that distract us into thinking something is really happening, and then we never let go and go to really where the practice of meditation exists. So allow them to come up whenever we have any kind of color. It has to do with what we call the tattvas, the subtle aspects of our senses that come forward, and the elements. And those colors indicate what element is being active at the time. So if you sit for a whole hour, you get to see many different things because you're going through a whole hour cycle with different energy fields that will surface. So if you find yourself saying to yourself, "Well, I don't have time to meditate," then stop and be aware that it's not your priority. If you don't have time, it's not your priority. I mean, don't beat yourself up about it. It's just not your priority. If you find yourself saying that meditation is not so easy, then you're probably off to a good start, like all of us that are practicing. It's because it's not that easy. We create excuses to feed what our ego wants us to believe and who and what we are. So the rules of the road: be vigilant when it comes to practice. Choose a clean and well-ventilated space free of through traffic. Don't expect immediate results. Ask yourself, how long did it take you to learn how to read or play an instrument or do anything for that matter skillfully? It takes time. And don't let progress get sidetracked with imaginings of these spiritual happenings and seeing things and all the visual. It'll happen, but let it all go. So, we know, and you've heard me say before, science is precision. And I always say meditation should have a scientific foundation. And the reason why I say that is not science necessarily an allopathic model or a reductionist model approach that we have in this country. It's more, when I talk about science, I mean the precision that we have in science. So meditation is a technique that does need to be taught in a scientific way, systematically, as I say, with precision. This is the way that I was taught, and it's been a very, very fruitful practice. It's not something I made up. It was through mastery that I saw this. So, meaning from another master, not myself. And so the precision is what really makes a difference. So if you learn how to systematically practice meditation, it won't take very long for you to reach, as I say, the summit of our soul, that place that's never changing, that place where we could step out and remain above. And it has to be provided that we know the full technique. Many modern classes take one little aspect of an ancient practice and call it meditation. This is not meditation. For example, mindfulness. Mindfulness is taken from a Vipassana background, of Vipassana training. So it's one little aspect the way it's taught. And it's not a full meditation practice. So we want to look for a full meditation practice that hasn't had its corners cut in order to appeal to the society's needs and wants. In addition, it's imperative to have the science behind the practice, as I keep mentioning, because you will then have the full intent that you want to learn. It'll give you need to have your full intention that you want to learn. And with the science behind it, it's going to support that full intent. That's what I'm trying to say here. Because it's very easy to get sidetracked and drop a practice, especially early on, where you can always find something else that will get in the way. Here are some pointers to establishing and refining your meditation practice. Have a strong desire to meditate or become a meditator. It will really help out. have extraordinarily will and determination, because meditation does require that you have a discipline of your own mind. And that's not so easy, especially in this day and age, not having discipline, get up when we need to. Things are a little bit more lax, even though we're always rushing around. When you decide that you really want to meditate, make a commitment to sit the same time each day. And commit yourself that you're not going to let anything get in your way. I remember my teacher saying that. Don't let anything get in your way, not even your thoughts. So when you sit there and you go to do your first, let's say it's your first time practicing, or even your 10th time practicing, it doesn't matter. Just decide, I'm not going to let any of you thoughts get in the way. I'm going to sit and be with myself now. I remember again the Master Sri Swami Rama saying, don't meditate if you're not inclined to meditate. If you want to meditate, you have to form a habit, because a habit weaves your character and personality. If you really want to know who you are, you have to take off all the masks, one after another. And he's talking the persona, the masks of our persona. You have to be totally naked. You have to be in the fire. If you are prepared to do that, you can learn to tread the path of meditation. And that was a quote I took from the book that I had mentioned earlier on in the very beginning, The Essence of Spiritual Life by Sri Swami Rama. So finally, as pointers for refining our practice, just sit in meditation and don't try to see lights, images, colors, or anything that you think is what is supposed to happen in meditation. Learn to sit still in complete darkness, and then the light will arise within you on its own time. How many times have we sat there and said, oh, I just want to see that light? No, it doesn't happen that way. We just have to sit, be content with where we are, focus our mind on our breath or the mantra, and what will appear over time, there'll be a speck of light, and then that light will come on its own. So, again, the 3 pointers in establishing and refining our practice is having first the strong desire and determination, and then make a commitment, and then just allow things to be. It's that simple. However, there are 5 simple steps that I'll go over, and we'll do a practice as I promised. So the time is here that each and every one of us must learn to meditate if we're going to ride these waves of our current off balance, these waves of societal needs and wants, and the breaking down of certain things and the building up of others. We're having a lot of disarray in society. So meditation can be used as a therapy to give us access to the highest form of the healing force. And this healing force will help lead to transformation. And if each one of us do this, as I said, I have something on my website, thesusantaylor.org. It's a SoundCloud audio clip. If you haven't heard it, it's the letter that I wrote for Women Seekers, and I talk about that. We have to all come together and be that healing force of positive change so that we can transform ourselves and transform the world. And it's not even about us anymore. It comes to, what about the children and those children to come? So let's do a meditation together. But before I bring you through a meditation, there are 5 steps that we're going to be doing in this practice. The first one is to establish your seat with your head, neck, and trunk aligned. And this allows stabilization of the body. And it creates an outer environment for your mind to go inward. The second step is to bring your awareness to your breath. We practice diaphragmatic breathing in all the courses that we teach. But breathing is the link between the mind and the body. When we engage the diaphragm, we're not maybe doing it tonight, but I'll bring you through it anyway. Or when you listen to this podcast, and what you want to do is just bring your awareness to the breath, and that helps link the mind and body, brings it together, and you'll see what I mean. Then we scan the body for tension, because to relax really means to let go. I said remain calm last time. Remain calm. On a physical level, we talk about stress. But if we really look at the word calm, I said consciously aware, living in the moment. That awareness of being in the moment comes through our breath. And when we pay attention to our breath, then we learn to relax and let go. We let go of the tension of the body, of the nervous system, of even our emotional attention, and as well as our mind has attention. So we then gain access to the healing force and open the door to meditation. Then we'll do step 4, refine our breathing. So we pay attention to breath at the base of the nose. Watching the breath at the base of our nose refines our awareness, and that trains our awareness to be steady. And then we do focus. Focus trains the mind to be still, and a still mind is a joyful mind. Only when we have a still mind can we enter the realm of meditation, and that's that space between thoughts. So let's get started. I'll bring you through. Tonight for focus, we'll do, instead of a mantra, we'll do a counting. We'll exhale on 1, inhale on 2, exhale on 3, inhale on 4, exhale on 5, and then go back down, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll alternate inhale and exhale. And again, I'll bring you through it. If you're driving at this point, please do not do this. This is not good. This is only if you're sitting and you're listening. Maybe you're at work and you're not supposed to be listening. But if you are, let's do a meditation together and get your whole group to be doing this together. So let's get started. So find your seat and just sit where you are right now. Lean back if you'd like. We're not going to do formal sitting forward. We really want the head, neck, and trunk to be aligned. But make sure that you're comfortable so that you can sit for the next few minutes. And bring your awareness to your breath. Just bring your awareness as you inhale and exhale again and again to the breath as it enters the nostrils. And where does it go? Down to the belly and then out from the belly, back through the trachea, out through the nostrils. So inhaling and exhaling. And just remain there for a few moments. Inhaling and exhaling. Just until you start to be comfortable with the breath and the breath starts to settle down. Just allow the natural breath. There's nothing else to do. And then we'll begin a body scan from the head to the toes and the toes to the head. So bring your awareness to the forehead region, softening and smoothing the muscles, moving your awareness down through your face. Just continuing to inhale and exhale, but just being aware. As we become aware, we can release with the exhale. And inhale fresh new energy. And we continue moving our awareness down our upper chest, softening and releasing the muscles of the upper chest. The upper abdomen and lower abdomen, bringing your awareness there. And moving down through your pelvis. We hold a lot of tension, especially if we're sitting all day. Just breathe into that space. Exhale from that space. And when you exhale, be aware of releasing any tension. And move your awareness down, relaxing the upper legs and lower legs. Ankles, feet, and toes. And breathe as though your whole body is breathing from your head to your toes and your toes to your head. And just be aware. And now move your awareness up and notice that your feet, your lower legs, upper legs are free of all tension and fatigue. And we'll travel up the back of the spine, locating any points of muscle tension that still may be there. So rest your attention at the small of the back. Breathe into that area and exhale anything that you may be still holding. The mid-back. The upper back between the shoulder blades. Release any tension that you may be holding there. and moving up through the back of the neck and the back of the head and over the top of the head, and rest your attention at the point above the space between the two eyebrows for just a moment, inhaling and exhaling. And drop your attention to the base of the nose, the point between the two nostrils at the base. And watch the breath as it enters and leaves, inhaling and exhaling again and again. And just be aware of the breath going in and the breath coming out. You may notice the air a bit cooler on the way in than on the way out. You could also pay attention to when you breathe in, where you're breathing in from. At what point does the air touch the nostril? And just be aware of your breath. Okay, and now we're going to start the counting practice. We'll start with an exhalation. So you can inhale first, and then exhale on 1. Watching the breath. Inhale on 2. Exhale on 3. Inhale on 4. Exhale on 5. Inhale on 4. Exhale on 3. Inhale on 2. Exhale on 1. And you can do one round on your own, inhaling on 2, and continue. And you can do this for as long as you like. If you get sidetracked and you go beyond the number 5, just gently bring your mind back, no judgment. Just bring it right back. And start counting. And to end the practice, you just deepen your practice. You deepen your breath again. You bring your breath outward. So you're inhaling and bringing a deeper breath in, being aware of your hands and your feet now. And then you wiggle your toes and your fingers. And then you can cup your hands and bring them over your eyes, opening your eyes into your hands. And this would conclude the meditation practice. Now, again, you could use that counting. You can do it for as long as 20 minutes. This is a podcast. It's not a class that I usually do, but I wanted to give you a sampling of what that would be like. And you can extend it as long as you want. I have CDs available. And, there are downloads if you like. I mean, no need to get them. You can use this recording, or you can get somebody that you enjoy listening to and use that. It's whatever you need to do for you. So this finishes the meditation practice, and it brings us to the end of this episode. So if you'd like to get the podcast automatically, it is available in your favorite podcast apps like iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and others. It also helps if you really like the podcast. If you subscribe, then we know that we're giving you what you like, so it always helps. You could also visit susantaylor.org and click on the subscribe button if you would like to subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, contact us at susantaylor.org. And thank you for listening. We bring the podcast out every week, And again, I love the questions, comments that are coming in. We did the short meditation practice tonight for those that wanted a sample of that. So again, contact us at susantaylor.org. And until next time, remain calm.